Hey guys, still here, welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. What I have for you today is an interesting scenario, and the person who created this, Remy J. Dobbs, even made a scoring system for it, which is something that I have not yet seen in the comment section, the suggestions. Here's the scenario. During the early 1920s, the Russian Civil War and the Greco-Turkish War were going on at the same time. In order to raise money for the war effort, the Greeks allowed various shipping vessels and merchants through the Black Sea, supporting the Reds. The British could not have this and began blockade of the Bosporus and demanding basing rights in Greek-occupied Istanbul. The Greeks sally forth with their fleet and request mediation from the League of Nations, which is, for those of you unaware, the predecessor to the UN. You are Commodore Jasper Hawking, Earl of Rochester, and commander of the 3rd Squadron. A headstrong and imperious young man, you were passed over for promotion due to being on the wrong side of a political argument during the war. You figure that if your squadron can sink the Greek fleet before the request reaches the League of Nations, you can secure the Bosporus and make the Black Sea a British lake. You have two 1925 heavy cruisers. The Greeks will be represented by a 1915 German tech fleet, as they bought the remnants after World War I. And they will have 2 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers and 5 light cruisers. So I'm going to be outnumbered 5 to 1. That's not a great situation to be in. You have 5 hours before the Greek request for mediation comes through. Now here's the scoring system. If I get 50 points or less, then the Earl of Rochester, so in this case my fictional character, is disgraced, and Great Britain is shamed before the international community. If I get 70 points or more, the Earl of Rochester, if I gain less than 70 points, so let's say between 50 and 70, the Earl of Rochester gains a promotion, but the League of Nations is disgraced at the beginning of its existence. If I get more than 90 points, the Earl of Rochester is a war hero and is on track to eventually becoming a Prime Minister, and a far more jingoistic Britain will be trying to dominate the world stage at the height of its power. Okay, so that's the point system. How do I gain points? I gain points by, first of all, surviving the engagement at the end of 5 hours. Now, 5 hours in this game is a really, really long time. So I'm going to reduce that number to 2 hours, because otherwise this video would be very, very long. I can score 15 points for sinking a battleship. I can sink 5 points for sinking a heavy cruiser, and I can sink 3 points for sinking a light cruiser. Now, if I want to get more than 50 points, so let's say I'm aiming between 50 and 70, I would first of all have to survive the battle, and second of all, sink 2 battleships. That would put me at the 70-point marker. It doesn't say anything about losing any heavy cruiser of mine, although, of course, losing one of my ships pretty much means losing half the battle, because my firepower just gets cut in half. To get the 90 points, I would have to sink everybody. Because it's 3 points for a light cruiser, so that's 15 points for sinking all light cruisers. And then another 3 heavy cruisers is another 15 points. That just puts me over the 95-point limit, if I'm not mistaken. So, I need to design a heavy cruiser that's capable of taking on a battleship and surviving. Right. That's ambitious, shall we say. That's really ambitious. I'm going to try and do my best. I'll try and use the maximum tech available. I already do have access to high TNT, but radar, no joy. It's not there yet. Rangefinder is. Although I think that going with a stereoscopic rangefinder 5 is a bit much. So let's go with stereoscopic 3. Because I think 1925, would they really have this advanced tech? Radio. Let's go with radio direction finding. Displacement. Maximum. If I want to take on a battleship, I'll need maximum displacement. And I want a good amount of speed so I can dictate when and where I fight. Many bulkheads. Let's go for geared turbines 2, so I have maximum horsepower per ton. Force boilers, auxiliary engine, auxiliary diesel, and shaft, advanced propeller shaft. Krupp 4 armor, heavy barbette thickness, anti-torpedo. They don't have DDs, but they do have light cruisers and heavy cruisers. Anti-torpedo 3, triple hull, Reinforced bulkheads, anti-flooding 2, and an armored citadel. Right. What do I do for the build of this ship? Now, people were encouraging me to go for wackier builds, so I could do that, like this. And you can just put the main tower in reverse, but in this case, it wouldn't give me any sort of advantages. It would just give you a sort of reverse Nelson. What sort of armament do I like on this ship? They are Mark 4 guns at best, at 11 inch, and Mark 5 guns at 9 inch. These 9 inchers reload in 18 seconds. I think that my best chance to take on the battleships is either to flood them or to try and burn them down. And judging by torpedo caliber, I can get out to a maximum range of 12.8. Fortunately, those 1915 battleships are pretty inaccurate. So that's probably going to be the way that I win this encounter. Try to get in close enough, and when I'm close enough, I'll launch my torpedoes, hopefully sinking one or more of their ships. Although the light cruisers could pretty easily intercept those torpedoes, or at least detect them. And that would, of course, put me in a bit of a troubled spot, because I wouldn't be able to take them down. Now, this puts my firepower at 12 9-inch guns. Maybe Lyddite is not actually that bad of an idea. Just going with HE damage. Just pure HE. If I go for super heavy shells, the HE shell damage is another 20%, and shell fire chance is another 22.5. Let's go with that. Funnel. That's a bit big. That's better. Funnel capacity 100. If I can, I would gladly add another one to make sure that I have a bit more redundancy. There. And I still have... Oh, ship's overweight. I have to do something about the offset of the weight. For weight 4.9. 1506. I have to wait. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's go with a slightly different position here. I think it was this one. It's 2.1. 1.9. Shift it back a bit more. 0.7. 0.7 is something I can live with. Now, my firing range is 19.7. So that means that I can still fire out to a pretty good range. And seeing as those battleships are probably not going to be very fast, I'll probably have quite a bit of efficiency in my accuracy. Oh crap, my engine efficiency is down the toilet. I need another funnel. These things are 748 tons? Holy hell. Funnel weight 57.5. Maybe this one's slightly better. Although I would need another... Well, maybe 2 funnels. There, now we're at 65. Whoops. That's the wrong one. 71. Ah, I'm overweight. Fine. Reduce speed a bit. 32 knots. Yeah, I think this is pretty much going to be it. And maybe I can put a bit more into turret armor. Making sure that my guns survive. And I don't know how much belt and deck armor are really going to help me out here. Because I'm fighting ships which have probably significantly larger guns. Especially the battleships. So I'm not sure how long I'll be able to survive that. Let's reduce it a bit. I'm going to try and get to 4 inch of deck armor. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This is going to have to be it. We have 12 9-inch guns, which fire at a range of 19.7. They have 390 ammo per gun. Reload is about 20 seconds. That gives them a little bit over 3 rounds a minute rate of fire. Per gun, that is. HE fire chance should be really good, because I'm using lyddite and super heavy shells. So my plan is to inflict flooding and potentially burn down the lighter ships, as the HE will potentially do more damage to them. Alright, let's see if I can get the Earl of Rochester his promotion. Hold. Show me your ships. Okay. It's not too bad. It's the only ones I can see at the moment. We got the Natal and the Ariadne. Target is in range. Cruisers open up. Reduce speed to full. Torpedoes denied. Accuracy 16% already. That is actually very respectable at this range. 1925? And these 9-inch guns are already this accurate. I am really pleasantly surprised by that. I thought it was going to be another one of those fights where you just don't hit anything. But no, we're actually doing quite well. They are turning around. First couple of hits, but no damage whatsoever. If these guys have maximum bulkheads, then this fight's going to be really tough. Because then those fires are not going to take hold for long. They'll be put out pretty fast. And that means that the structural integrity of the ship is just going to be perfectly fine. So a fire set, and another. They're not putting it out as quick as they might like. See, so far, it seems to be working. Join the barbecue, boys. Join the barbecue. Natal and Ariadne. Firing. 1,400 rounds remain. Ideally, my plan is to just sink the battleships as the most important problems to my current ships. They're the most threatening ships that they can have. And once those are dead, I might just disengage for a bit, buy myself some time. Because the plan is, of course, surviving the encounter. That's going to get me 40 points. Range of the ship, 15-7. She's not firing. I'm not even sure if she knows where I am. Because arguably she would be in range. Oh, we switched fire apparently. Look, this battleship already lost a bit of health, thanks to the fires. What I'm a bit more concerned about is where are their light cruisers? If they pop up out of the blue, then they could surprise me. Now you could argue that this is that this is a bit cheesy, but it works. It works, and that's the point. I'm trying to take on ships which are significantly heavier and have bigger guns than I do. So I have to use the advantages that I can get. And if that means that I can use HE to burn these guys down, then I absolutely will. This warship is currently not very happy with the attention that it's getting. And it is showing that by returning fire with, as of yet, unknown caliber. Identification is progressing at 47 and 48. Or sorry, 54 was it? 49. Come on, burn her down. They have 9 barrels and a bunch of what I think are 8-inch secondaries. I hope that the fire control solution for these battleships is terrible, because they don't have the same tech that I do. I'm 10 years ahead of these guys. 12.8 was the torpedo range, yeah. I am slightly concerned with running out of ammunition, because this will be a pretty long encounter, and I'll need a lot of rounds in order to get this done. Let's make a turn to port. Swing the turrets around and keep the distance towards the battleships. I don't want to get close to these boys. Too dangerous. Identification 69%, 75%. Soon I'll know how much bulkheads these guys actually have. Did they stop firing? No, they're just reloading. There they come again. Hold on. There we go. 77. Hold on. Smoke screens. That's light cruisers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 3 light cruisers. No, sorry, they had 5 light cruisers in total, but I get 3 points for sinking one. That's the deal. 83, 89. I should have gone with more ammunition here. 1,300 rounds might look like I have a lot, but it's going to go pretty quick. %, 98. Tell me, what do you have? What's your speed? What's your defenses? Minimum bulkheads. Oh, I really struck out here. This is fantastic, because this means they are pretty weak. 14-inch guns. And they either don't see me, or they consider their accuracy too low. There, their accuracy is really low. They're building, so it's going to get better, but it's currently at 0.5. Kaiser is burning in quite a few locations and is losing structural integrity pretty fast. Maneuver a bit more. 82%. That salvo just narrowly skimmed over the deck. Look at those impacts. There, there, there. You have such a mighty battleship with a displacement of 32,600 tons. And now you're going to find out that all of that is going to get sent to the bottom. Sooner than you might like. Surprised that those light cruisers and heavy cruisers haven't shown their face yet. I know sort of where they are, courtesy of their smoke screens. But outside of that, I don't know anything yet. Kaiser just took another couple of fires. Now, I could go for a really risky option and just try to rush in. And I don't mean completely rush in, but just get close enough for my torpedoes to be able to launch. Which happens at a range of 12.8, although the accuracy then is questionable. If that. So I just have to get a bit closer here. And that's the risky part, because the closer I get, the better their accuracy gets. 15. What I'm also really banking on is that their light cruisers are not in front of them. Because light cruisers are usually the ones that are capable of detecting the torpedoes that are incoming. And that's the thing I want to avoid. Oh, the main tower's been knocked out. Main tower destroyed. Because of that, their accuracy's down the toilet. Interesting. That could just give me the margin that I need in order to get close enough. There's the torpedo range. 12.8. So far, neither of my ships have taken damage. But naturally, because I mentioned that, that's going to change. Okay, we're now in torpedo range. I'll get a bit closer to the Kaiser. There's a ship. There's another one. Alright, let's slow down to 2 times speed. Come to starboard. Torpedoes in the Kaiser. Actually, hold. I want to get a broadside torpedo launch so I can get a wider salvo off. So that means I want to have the Natal and the Ariadne on broadside. Which is risky. It's not a position you want to have for a long time because you're very exposed to incoming fire. Still 1,100 shells left on the Natal and 969 on the Ariadne. Could be a problem. Oh, don't hit me, don't hit me. Oof. Close. Come on, get a torpedo launch. That's all. Fine. Aggressive launch. Bingo. Ariadne. These are the light cruisers. I want you to try and torpedo the Beowulf. Aggressive. If you have a solution, take it. Natal, Ariadne, start turning back to starboard. We did our torpedo launch. Now it's time to get that distance opened up again, before they're able to do too much damage. The Kaiser, however, has taken a pretty heavy beating so far. 66% remains. And that's just with HE. You thought HE spam in World of Warships was bad. Let me tell you. Torpedoes away from the Ariadne. Perfect. Let's go. Increase speed to flank. I know it's going to cost me some accuracy. That's fine. I just need to make sure I get away from these battleships, because I'm approaching to 11.4. And while the Kaiser might not have a lot of accuracy, the Beowulf is building its accuracy up to about 2%. And these light cruisers are getting uncomfortably close. 9.1. I don't know what sort of speed they can get to, because they still haven't been identified. Status on the torpedoes. I think this is the screen from the first. Yeah, this is the screen from the Ariadne. Good. Alright, let's go back to ×3. Kaiser, 63%. Fires in, oh, at least 2 decks. Potentially more. Hold on, these guys are out of their smoke screen. Switch fire. Come to starboard. We've taken a few damaging hits to the Ariadne and the Natal, but so far nothing critical has been hit. Keep it up, guys. Torpedoes still en route to the Kaiser. If this triple group can hit, that could sink the Kaiser. And I still don't see that she's detected the torpedoes. So far, she's just blundering into those torpedoes. She's detected them. She's trying to avoid, but by doing so, she's sailing. Oh, is that gonna hit? No! So close. So close. Unfortunately, that also throws off the Beowulf's aim with the torpedoes that I sent to her. If I can still find those anywhere. Yeah, here they are. Well, they could still hit the Kaiser, arguably. Let's see, have we done anything to the Kolberg? Nothing yet. Any chance to pen? Oh yeah, chance to pen the Kolberg's pretty damn good. Also, torpedoes away from one of my ships. I'm not sure exactly which launched that, but the Kolberg has seen them and is trying to avoid. But are you turning the right way, Kolberg? Because that torpedo is coming right for you. Yep, torpedo hitting the Kolberg. Ooh. First blood to the British. Okay, now they're all inside of a smoke screen. Come back. I think we've opened up the range significantly enough. So far we've only done battle for a half hour. But already the supposed Greeks, which are being portrayed by the Germans in this case, have lost one light cruiser. Beowulf's taking fire again. I can agree with that. Ariadne. Oh crap, at some point I must have slid the slider down for the speed. What the hell was that? Move! Go, 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 go. You're dead in the water. Damage to the main gun? With HE? Are your turrets thus poorly defended? Okay. Prince Eugen, maximum bulkheads. 14,400 tons, so they're about the same as my ships. Slightly less. Send out a torpedo against the Bremse if you can. Natal might be a bit hesitant to fire, or to launch rather, as the Ariadne is still in the way. Ariadne has launched, but only 2 torpedoes. Where's the rest? I know you have more. Prince Eugen range, 12-8, too far away. Beowulf's on fire again. And quite a lot of compartments currently. Oh, they just put them out. There we are. If I can overwhelm the fire control or the damage control parties on these ships, then they will immediately get put out of the fight. Another fire's been started. Hold on, the Beowulf also lost their tower? Yeah, look at that. This is Beowulf. This is Kaiser. Both the main towers have been destroyed. Interesting. Torpedoes away from the Natal and torpedoes away from the Ariadne. Ariadne has taken a bit of damage now. That's because I'm broadside to that whole group. Where are my torpedoes? Here they are. That's just the 2 of them. Looks like the Bremse has just detected them. Is trying to avoid, but if they have the same talents for avoiding like their previous brother or sister ship, then I imagine it's going to be a pretty bad evasive maneuver. If this heavy cruiser, the Friedrich Karl, continues on our current course, then she could take the torpedoes. They weren't originally aimed at her, but if they're going to hit her, I'm not complaining. Uh-oh. I'm running out of shells. I have 826 on the Natal, but 596 on the Ariadne. I'm gonna have to rely on torpedoes a bit more. Friedrich has seemingly been ordered to avoid the torpedoes. Yeah, they're turning around. Light cruiser here, the Bremse. Are you really? I've seen the AI still do full hard turns to starboard to avoid this torpedo, and such immediately move into the course of the torpedo. The fact that I'm running low on ammunition could be a big problem, as then I would have to go in close and just try to torpedo the ships. The Beowulf continues to be peppered, but is only down to 60... No, this is 59. Please use HE against that ship. I don't want to see AP here. Chances of penning with AP is just negligible. Don't launch torpedoes unless ordered. I'm going to do another run on those battleships. Kaiser's coming in. Okay. I might be able to capitalize on that. Sure, it'll provide a smaller target profile, but once they see the torpedoes, they usually just try to avoid by steering either to port or to starboard. And once they do that, they make themselves an easier target. Now, if I survive the battle and I sink a battleship, that puts me at 55 points, which means that I am above the 50-point limit, but below the 70-point limit. So it's at less than 70 points. The Earl of Rochester gains a promotion, but the League of Nations is disgraced at the beginning of existence. So yeah, I got promoted for sinking a battleship, but that is about it. And ideally, I want not the campaign. I want the career for this guy to skyrocket. Look at this. The Kaiser's not even firing anymore. Me and my big mouth. She's turning her guns now, including the 7-inch secondaries. Natal, hard to starboard. Torpedoes on the Kaiser, when you have them. Beowulf. Taking a bit more damage. Switch fire to the Kaiser. Okay, go for an aggressive launch. I need those torpedoes in the water. Natal, continue backing off. Ariadne is going to make the same turn. And as such, will also get her torpedoes away. Shells. 735 on the Natal. 452 on the Ariadne. Yeah, I definitely should have brought more shells. More ammunition. So far, the heavy cruisers are doing really well. But that's mostly not so much due to the heavy cruisers themselves, but due to the piss poor aim of those battleships. Ah, Kaiser's turning. It's going to throw off the aim of the torpedoes. Ariadne is not quite ready to launch yet. Yeah, she is now. Bingo. Ariadne has launched the torpedoes. Natal, continue turning. 49%. See, both of these battleships are now half health. But I need one to produce, or to be reduced to 0. Not half health. These torpedoes don't look good for the Kaiser, but these might do something against the Beowulf. They have not yet been detected. Come on, buddy. Keep going. Still haven't detected them. This looks promising. This looks really promising. I think she's trying to avoid. But she's going to eat at least 3. With minimum bulkheads, that's going to be a problem. All 4 hit the target. No, sorry, 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beowulf is on fire almost everywhere and flooding very, very quickly. Yeah, look at that. Oof. By some miracle, the weapons that are, sorry, the guns that are pointing directly at the sea bottom are still firing, but that's the last of her. She's gone. Alright, so that puts me at least 15 points, plus the survival of my own ships so far, which is another 40 points. Now, I have my main armament, but I think torpedoes in this case will be more valuable. I'm going to turn the guns off and prepare for another torpedo run. Especially useful since now the other battleship is alone. So let's increase the flank. Try to get ahead of this group. I'm really trying to use my speed to dictate the pace of the battle. And by doing so, making sure that the heavy cruisers and the lights are not going to be as much of a threat as they normally could be. Ariadne is down to 96%. I'm not seeing any critical hits. And the Natal is at 100. I am already in torpedo range, but the torpedoes aren't... Oh! That was the other salvo. She got hit by 2 torpedoes. One detonated her ammunition supplies, and another one hit her in the bow belt. You can see flooding here, here, and here. Structural integrity is down to 7%. We need to put that guy down. Or a girl, rather. And they don't need much. I think this might actually cripple it. It might sink her entirely. 14%, 12% structural. Sorry, 6% structural, 5%, 4% float, 0.9, 1. Done. 2 battleships sunk. Perfect. Well done. That puts me at 70 points or greater. If I can get to 90 points or greater, then I'm going to be a war hero, according to this scenario. So right now, I have already scored, what was it, a light cruiser for 3 points. And on top of that, we have the 2 battleships. So that's a CL is 3 points, a BB, or rather 2 BBs is 30 points total. So I'm sitting on 73 points. A bit of damage on the Hamburg, although the Hamburg Might not need HE. Guys, slow down. Save ammunition. Only fire when you have good accuracy. And do a normal torpedo launch versus the Bremse. Good damage. Secondary tower got destroyed. Torpedoes away from the Natal. Torpedoes away from the Ariadne. Back to starboard. I'm constantly weaving in and out with the torpedoes. Let's see, if we fire at the Prince Eugen. Accuracy is being built up. Oh, sorry, the Ariadne hasn't launched yet. I was looking at the Natal. That one's launched. There's another light cruiser somewhere far in the distance. 11 clicks out. Now, I'm also trying to look deep, so if the torpedoes don't hit the Bremse, they might still hit the Friedrich Karl in the back. That's the secondary target. These guys all have maximum bulkheads. Still, one torpedo, as we have seen, is enough to completely eradicate one of their ships. Torpedoes away. I still have 25 left. Armament. Ariadne down to 309 shells. The 9-inch guns from the Natal has 600 rounds. Bremse has detected the torpedoes and is turning to avoid. And judging by her course correction, I think she'll get away with it. Although she's turning back in. She's turning back into the path of these torpedoes. And now she's turning back out again. Come on, make up your mind. The Friedrich Karl, not really making any evasive maneuvers. There she goes. Now she's making evasive maneuvers. Eugen is also not looking to get hit by torpedoes. Yeah, they're completely outside the range of the torpedoes now. They're safe. Where's my second salvo of torpedoes, though? Because the Ariadne had just launched torpedoes. Here. Well, with any luck, that will hit the Prince Eugen, but I'm not holding my breath. Switch to auto. Fire AP when you see the opportunity for it. Although, at this rate, I don't think you're going to get any luck with those. Maybe these torpedoes can still do something against the Eugen. At any rate, I already have 73 points. So my supposed character gains a promotion. For those of you who want to submit your own scenario, please do so by doing that in the comment section down below. That's the only place where I accept them. Don't send them in through Discord, don't send them in through email, because it's really making it a hassle to try and scrape all of these scenarios together. Please don't do that. So just submit them in the comment section down below. The more worked out they are, and the more they appeal to people, the more likely they are to become the next scenario for a battle. Because I do these things by seeing how many, or what scenario got the most upvotes, and then picking that scenario. The scenario that I am doing right now is a one-time exception, because it was submitted through email, but it had that, let's say that scoring system that says if you have 50 points, then this happens, if you have 70 points, then that happens, and if you have 90 plus points, then that happens. And I wanted to highlight that through the course of this video. The light cruisers are really no threat at 5-inch. Maybe I'm approaching this problem the wrong way. If I sink a few more light cruisers... Don't fire. If I sink a few more light cruisers, I'll be able to get a good few points in. And the heavies... Well, they're pretty far from their lights. Torpedoes away from the Natal, torpedoes away from Ariadne. I'm hoping to sink those guys with torpedoes, because I'm thinking that the main guns, the 9-inchers, are just not enough. I've been firing at the... what was it? The Eugen for a while, and I've only inflicted 2% structural integrity damage. So it's really not that impressive. These light cruisers are still in a smokescreen. Are they packing torpedoes? Yeah, they are. Where? Is that a bow tube? No, it's a port and starboard tube. Target. Save. 534 shells for the Natal. Ariadne is down to 229. Not good. She's swinging her guns to starboard. Attempting to get a lock on. Eugen has detected the torpedoes. Doesn't mean they're able to do anything about it. Because it's a pretty big wall. That's the... oh, here she is. Eugen. Yeah, she's detected the torpedoes, but without the assistance from her light cruisers, that could mean that it is too late for the Eugen. And it looks like she's about to get hit by 3, so the strategy worked. 1, 2, 3. She's flooding. Structural integrity down to 8%. Now we're about to see how good those damage control parties are on the Eugen. The second salvo that was launched from the Ariadne probably won't do much. But if I can sink a heavy cruiser, that's another 5 points. Yep. 5 points gained, sinking a heavy cruiser. And now we have damage on the... severe damage on the Hamburg. Yeah, almost. Natal down to 475. Ariadne down to 167 shells. I'm not seeing any torpedo launches yet. They only have a range of 3-8. Are you trying to push them now, or what? What's going on here? Look at that. Hamburg is flooding. That'll make her even easier to hit. Oh, they're being smoked up. Hamburg will sink. Bingo! 3 more points have been scored. So that's not 3 points from the light cruiser, but 6. I actually have pen and paper over here to keep track of what I have sunk and how many points I've gained from that. Target Berlin, HE. Because I'm looking at the ship bow in profile, so my ricochet chance is really high. Berlin. Oh! Ho, ho. The bow immediately gets torn apart by the HE. That was a bow belt extended hit penetration for 588 damage. She's now turning to port. But that even... well, it makes it even easier for me. It opens up the ship. It opens up the damage as well. There's another 25. Pen chance is now really good. Switch to AP. Ariadne has still taken a little bit of damage. The Friedrich, current range, 13, not a threat. Berlin gets hit by AP below the waterline, destroy the funnel. She's flooding, still. She's making a turn. It's going to make it a bit harder to pen it. There you go. More flooding. This time around in the stern. I think that'll sink her. Switch to HE and target the Thetis. Come on. Bingo. 9 points scored from light cruisers. And I'm still waiting for the Brems to get out of her smokescreen, so I can actually sink her as well. Chance to hit, 8.9%. And the Ariadne is down to 91 rounds. That's all I have left. Save your ammo if you have to. Starboard torpedo tubes are ready on both the Ariadne and the Natal. I have 10 torpedoes left per ship. Well, you know what? I'll let the heavy cruisers live. So they can tell the tale of the valiant effort made by Commodore Jasper Hawking. Never to be underestimated. Alright, ready the torpedoes? Torpedoes away. Starboard launch, Ariadne. Starboard launch, Natal. I'm thinking that the Thetis is going to detect them. But I'm attacking from 2 different angles. And maybe that'll make it harder to avoid, because you're sort of creating a semi-crossfire. Oh, that looked painful. Structural integrity immediately went down to 55%. She's flooding. She's lost rudder control. That's not something you want to... Oof. That's not something you want to see when you have torpedoes coming at you. She has, as far as I can tell... Yeah, I think she has detected the torpedoes. But... Well, the torpedo's not going to arrive in time. They might still arrive in time for the Bremse, though. Off. No fire. Cease fire. So that is 12 points out of my light cruisers. And let's see if I can get the last one. Got here one wave and here's the other. This one is not looking good, but these kinda do. Although she's turning. No, none of this is going to hit. I'm now waiting for the smoke screen to clear. Oh, you have to be kidding. Oh, you almost sailed right into it. Let's try and take her out just with the guns. Because right now there is not anything that protects this ship. No smoke and definitely not armor. And speed, that is normally a parcel of the light cruisers to keep them safe. It's not going to save you now. There she goes. 15 points. Light cruisers. Alright, status on my ships. 100% structural integrity, 19 torpedoes left on the Natal. 2 torpedoes left on the Ariadne, and 49 rounds. If I disengage now, I will have scored 40 points for keeping my heavy cruisers alive. 15 points for sinking all the light cruisers, so that's 55. I have sunk 1 heavy cruiser, so that is 60 points, and 30 points for taking down 2 battleships, for a total of 90 points or more. So that means that according to the story, the Earl of Rochester is a war hero and is on track to eventually becoming a prime minister. And a far more, and I don't know what this means, a jingoistic Britain will be trying to dominate the world stage at the height of its power. What I still do want to try and do is take out the cruiser, let's say one of them. So I'm going to save my rounds, especially those on the Ariadne. These heavy cruisers, their accuracy is dreadful. 10-inch guns, Mark IIIs, accuracy of 0.8. I know I'm already in torpedo range, but I want to wait a little bit longer. Come to starboard. Start preparing for that for that torpedo salvo. Range 9.8. Nine 3, 9.2. Don't launch the torpedoes yet. Wait for it. Range 8. Get a very accurate launch in, that's all. I want to see hits. She's too far for an accurate torpedo launch. Okay. Normal. Torpedoes away from the Natal. Ariadne is still sitting on her torpedoes. Torpedo... Oh. Singular. A torpedo has been launched by the Ariadne, and that was her last round. And she's completely out of ammo. Bit of damage over here on the Friedrich Karl to the main tower. I'm gonna split up my cruisers. I want you to keep going. I want you to head out of the area at max speed. You have completely expended everything. Torpedoes and shells alike. Natal still has 3 torpedoes. Not expecting anything here, but maybe I can get a launch with the starboard set. Have you detected the torpedoes yet? No, you've actually been hit by the torpedoes. The Carl. And it looks like she's not going to live. Or is she? She's fighting it. I have no torpedoes left. No, she's fighting it. She'll live. You still have some ammo. Try to inflict a bit more damage against the Friedrich. She's starting to pump out the water. Yeah, floatability at 37%. Three torpedoes and 136 shells left. Range, 9 clicks out. No hits. I keep selecting the wrong ship. I'm not penning her. I'm not doing enough damage. Look at that. It just all bounces off of the side of the ship harmlessly. A little bit of damage from cracked armor. 76 rounds left. $67. That's enough for a couple more salvos, but I'm not holding my breath that I'll sink this ship. Auto select. See, those bulkheads are just saving the ship right now. Engines out. Ooh, that was juicy. Looks like the AP is flying right through the side of the ship now. Conning fire control damaged. Accuracy down to 0.9. With the last torpedoes launched by the Natal, I might get lucky. Here they come. The last salvo. Natal. Yeah, Natal has nothing left. Increase speed to flank and head out of the area. Let's increase to 5 and let's see if one of those will strike the Friedrich, in which case there will be one ship left, the Hertha. I just have to survive for another 14 minutes, but with the Natal heading out of the area and the Ariadne already way outside the range of that heavy, or well, actually not yet. Not yet, but any reasonable accuracy is not to be expected. And it looks like the Carl has detected the torpedoes but is unable to escape. And there she goes. Torpedo hit, inflicting more damage to the bow of the ship, flooding once again. Is it going to do enough? It is not yet. No. She survived. Props to the damage control on the Friedrich Carl. Look at that. She has seen some shit. I'm not sure how they're not flooding here, with the decks just awash with water. Look at that, when she powers through a wave. It's just not enough to sink her. Alright, so with that self-imposed time limit of 2 hours, I still have to survive for a few more minutes. And that's just going to be spent by, well, falling back. The Earl of Rochester has managed to keep both ships alive. Natal is going to need a small touch-up, down to 89% structural integrity. And Ariadne only suffered a few minor hits, down to 96% structural, but so far I think everything is still operational. So, excellent mission. Excellent show of force by the British. And hopefully this is going to put the Greeks in their place, according to this scenario, and allow, as Remy wrote it, basing rights for the British. And maybe, maybe even turn the Black Sea into a British lake. Right, I'm going to proclaim victory, because I don't see myself dying in the next 5 minutes here. Thank you guys for watching. Remy, thank you for this excellent scenario. I thought that it was going to be very difficult, but through use of torpedoes and 9-inch guns with HE, I was actually able to make it work. And I really enjoyed that, especially the point scenario, the point system. So if you have something like that in mind for your own scenario, or if this inspired you to come up with a scenario, put it down below in the comments. With that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you guys soon for the next video.